Hey campers, my name is Victoria from Sunrise Day Camp and I'm here to inspire you to use your creative mind. As we all know, this week's theme is outer space. So before I get into the craft that we'll be doing today, let's see what the inspirational easel has to say. Just a camper who decided to go for it. Like all dreams, you should shoot for the stars, and that's what inspires today's craft today. Today we're going to be painting our own zodiac constellations as a reminder to ourselves that our possibilities in life are endless. What we're going to need is either a canvas or a piece of paper, a large brush to do our background. If you don't have that, that's okay, and as well as a small brush. It could be either a fine point or a flat on top. Any brush will do. You're going to need paint, of course. If you don't have paint, feel free to use markers, crayons, whatever you have accessible to you. For paints, I'm going to be using black, white, red, and blue. And of course, to keep our paintbrushes clean, we're going to need some water. Now, an extra step that I'm going to choose to take is adding some glitter to my piece. You can do the same. You don't have to. If you do, I recommend you have a glue, of course, one like this, one that you could squeeze out of the bottle or dip a paintbrush in, as well as glitter, of course. So you're going to gather all of your supplies. We're going to get back together, figure out what your zodiac constellation is, and then we're going to begin. Now, when it comes to this project, our first step is figuring out what is our zodiac constellation. And if you're wondering what is a zodiac, basically a zodiac sign is, depending on the day that you were born or the time that you were born, what the stars looked like and how they were aligned. So if you pause here, you can actually see your birthday and the timeline that it was in and what your zodiac sign looks like. If you were a Capricorn, December 22nd through January 19th, you'd be a Scorpio. This would be your sign if you're October 23rd to November 21st. If you're like me, you'll be a Sagittarius between November 22nd and December 21st. A Pisces is February 19th through March 20th. Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd. Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th. A Taurus, April 20th through May 20th. Gemini, May 21st through June 20th. Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd, and Cancer, June 21st through July 22nd. So you're going to figure out your sign, you can practice sketching it real fast, and then we're going to get back together and we're going to start painting our background. So when it comes to painting the galaxy, you can use any colors of your choice. I chose red and blue because I tend to lean more towards a purple galaxy. That's what I usually enjoy most. So you're going to get your red and your blue, or whichever two colors that you choose to use. Maybe you want more than two colors. You're welcome to do whichever pleases you. And I like to put the darkest colors on the outside and the lightest colors on the inside to give like a galaxy star effect in the center. So I'm going to put my dark blue, little dots, just little plops, nothing crazy, more along the edge, and just a few in the middle. Then I'm going to grab my red and do the same thing. I want my red and my blue to make a nice purple. So I definitely want the red near my blue, so when I'm blending it with a brush, it'll look nice and smooth. Now, to make sure I have a lighter center, I'm going to put a string of white in the middle. This will help when blending to create a lighter section down the center, as well as help me expose that purple color a little bit more after adding in our black. So just like what we did, the red and blue, a little bit of black throughout the edges, more black on the outermost side. Okay. So of course, make sure all the caps on your paint are nice and sealed tight. You're going to get your large brush, very gently dip it in some water, just so the edge of the brush is damp. This will help the paint move a lot smoother as you go across. This part, I'm going to warn you, your hands will get a little bit messy, and that's okay. That's what I love most about art, and I hope that you do too, especially for this project. So you're going to get your brush, we're gonna start from the darkest side and work our way in. We're just gonna kind of start mixing them. All right, so it looks very dark on the outside. Once we start grabbing that white, it's gonna really lighten up for us, so don't worry. So here we have like that deep purple reddish tone. We're gonna go back to this outside layer, start mixing away. And now we're gonna start grabbing the white. Go right down the middle and start extending it towards the outside. Go back to the white and start extending it out. So you're gonna keep blending it until you are satisfied with the color of your background. And now I kind of want to drag some more of the dark into it. There we go. Now I really like my color, however, I think it might be a little too light for my galaxy. I really want the white stars to show out more later on, so I'm gonna get more black. We're gonna add that, just little splotches, and that'll blend nicely, especially now that we have a wet paper or canvas. It'll really blend that black in there for us. There we go. I recommend very loose strokes when you're using your paintbrush, and this will create a more natural blend as well. So once you finish this and you're satisfied with your background, be patient. We're gonna let our backgrounds dry, and then we're gonna come back together and we're gonna start creating our star textures and then our constellations. All right, so now that our background is dry, it's time to start adding in our stars. So you're going to grab your white paint. Maybe you want yellow stars, orange stars, purple stars, green stars. That's all up to you. There are no limits. You can make it all your own. I'm gonna put a little bit of white here on the edge of my napkin. And for this step, I recommend a brush tip that's a little more messy on the end. And if you still want to use the same large brush that you had before, you're welcome to do that. I just recommend you really clean it thoroughly before we start adding in the stars. So I'm going to dip my brush gently in some water, just a little bit damp, this way it could all fly across. Oh. And we're going to tap it with some white. We're going to take our fingers, pull it back like a lever, and start flicking our stars onto our paper. So as we do this, it gives more of a natural effect rather than dapping our stars. So just gonna keep doing that until you're satisfied with the amount of stars, the color of your stars, the layout. I do recommend, again, paper towels around your surface because this part gets a little bit messy. So you're gonna keep splattering so you're satisfied. I think I want to add some red stars. Maybe not. Not too sure. Maybe pink. I'm going to take some red and mix it in with my white. See if I can incorporate some pink stars in there. Not too many, just a few. So we're going to mix that and blend that till we get a nice little pink color. Kind of like an off-white. Just to have that slight contrast that yet still matches my sky. So we're going to continue doing this. Once you're satisfied with that step, we're going to come back together and add in our constellations. Now that you're satisfied with all of your little loose shooting stars, it's time to put in your constellation. So I put mine right above here so I can reference to it. You're welcome to do the same. For my constellations, I'm going to be using this nice yellow goldish color, while also keeping the little bit of white left that I have to connect them. So I have my gold ready. So you can either clean your brush or you can use a new brush again. So I'm going to dip it into my gold and I'm going to decide where I want my constellations to start. I want mine large front and center. So I'm going to start from the top left part of my constellation. To keep track, I'm kind of just going in order with one part at a time. So I'm starting with my top left half, the bottom left, and then the right. So I've gone here. If you get lost and you feel more comfortable connecting the dots as you go, by all means, do what helps you the most. See, at this point, I've gotten a little lost, so I'm going to start connecting my constellations. We're actually going to use the back of this brush to make some nice connecting lines. So now that I've completed this step, I'm going to start adding in some glitter. You're welcome to do the same as well as welcome to do none of it and just do something different. I'm going to be using these galaxy glitter that I have, maybe some pink, and then some silver. So I'm going to get my glue. Instead of squeezing it out the bottle, sometimes I get a little nervous it's going to fall out. I'm actually going to use a paintbrush. So I'm going to clean the edge so there's no paint on my paintbrush. I'm just going to dip it inside of the glue bottle, wherever I want the sparkles to be. So I'm kind of just picking some random spots for my silver sparkles that I'm going to do. And I'm going to have the galaxy ones mixed with that and the pink ones more along my lines every once in a while. So we're going to go here, kind of just freehand it, nothing too crazy, nothing too prepared. Sometimes we just got to wing it. Okay, so I'm going to put the cap on my glue because I'm not trying to drop my glue and get stuff all over the place. So I'm going to take my brush, and to have it help guide me, I'm just going to kind of dip it. It should stick there, and then move it onto the glue. So I'm just going to keep doing that. If I have any fallout and it happens to stick, who am I to complain? I love some glitter. So we're all going to continue our steps in decorating it however you choose to personalize it, and then we're going to come back together and we're going to see what we have created. As you can tell, perhaps I've used a little too much glitter, and that's okay. If you've done the same thing, don't even worry about it. When it comes to art, there's no such thing as mistakes. So either way, whatever colors you chose to use in your galaxy, however much glitter or however little glitter you chose to use, please share your artwork on Blooms. I'm really excited to see what you've come up with, what colors you've used, how it inspired you. Maybe share your dreams with us. Shoot for the stars. Tell us what you are inspired by and what moves you. Again, and as always, it was a pleasure, and I cannot wait to inspire you to use your creative mind. Have a good one.
If you're not watching this on the Sunrise Studios app, well, why not? You can download the Sunrise Studios app on your phone or tablet from your app store, and you can watch all of our virtual camp videos the moment they're released. You can also find Sunrise Studios on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, or you can watch it on our Sunrise Association YouTube channel. See you soon!